In this lesson, we will work on creating control objects for the mech's limbs. Getting started, what I'd like to do is go ahead and create another polygonal cube. I really like to work with a cube because when we trace from this, our control object then has three-dimensionality, meaning that it makes it a lot easier for animators to go in and grab that control. These are some things we should think about. Let's say we go ahead and grab our CV curve tool. We'll go to our options just to make sure we're working with the linear curve type. Fantastic. And we'll go ahead and start to trace this cube. So let's go ahead and hold down the V key and we'll snap. Oh, let me go ahead and undo back because I didn't want to snap to that point, but this point. There we go. All right, so we'll continue to draw our curve from this cube. And remember, it doesn't matter if you have overlapping points. So no worries. If that did matter, I probably wouldn't be doing this lesson. Alright, so I think we're just about finished here. And remember, if you skip over any edges, you could always use the Add Points tool to bring this back together. Fantastic. I'll go ahead and grab the cube and delete. Alright, sweet. So now we can go ahead and take this object and let's go ahead and bring this over to the left side. So we'll go ahead and align this over to our left leg. I'd highly recommend you go ahead and hide your mesh just to make it a little bit easier for you to snap this object over to where it belongs. Fantastic. So from here, we can bring the model back. We can go to our point level, grab all of our CVs, and we can start to scale these down so it wraps around the foot. That looks good. Fantastic. So let's go ahead and check this from all views. Yes, that is certainly easy to select. If anything, we might be able to kind of pull this back a bit. Just make sure that the curve doesn't intersect. It looks like there was a little bit of intersection at the top, but no longer is that the case. Alright, fantastic. Now we can go ahead and press F8 to go back to object mode. We'll press Ctrl D to duplicate this object. And let's go ahead and bring this over to our right side. So again, I'll go ahead and hide the model and snap it over there. Now, take a look at something. Right now I have the Z-axis highlighted, so if I try to go ahead and snap this, it's only going to snap in that axis. Just go ahead and select in the center of your manipulator to refresh all axes. And now you should be able to easily snap this object over. Wonderful. So this looks good. And by the way, if there's a little bit of interpenetration between the control and your geometry, it's okay. Because, I mean, this object is still easy to select. But if it's too much interpenetration where it becomes difficult to select the control, that's when it's a problem. Alright, wonderful. So what I'd like to do from here is go ahead and rename these objects. So that's going to be anim_L_leg01. Let's say we go ahead and copy this name and use it for our right side. So that's going to be animrleg01. From here, we can press Ctrl A to jump to our attribute editor so we can recolor these objects. So let's say on the right side we work with yellow. Fantastic. And then on our left side we can work with a shade of blue. Maybe light blue. Something that's bright, something that's easy to see and select. Fantastic. So from here we can then go ahead and select both objects and freeze their transforms. Let's go ahead and head over to our outliner. We'll go ahead and find our controls group and we'll store them there. Let's go ahead and parent. Fantastic. So at this point, we can now go in and remove the channels that we will not use. So that scale and visibility, we'll either right click and choose lock and hide selected, or remember you could always go to channels and choose the same. Nice. Now how about the arms? Well, let me go ahead and show you something. It's going to be a really cool trick. I'll go ahead and take the leg, and I'll go ahead and duplicate that control. Let's go ahead and snap this over to the end joint. So if you need to, go ahead and hide your model and snap it there. Now, what we can do at this point is go ahead and press F8 to go to component mode, just so we can center this a bit better to the wrist. Alright, fantastic. So this looks nice. In order for us to mirror this across, we have to do more than just duplicate this object, because if we try to press Control D to duplicate it, and then if we try to snap it over to the opposite side, you can see there's going to be an offset because we have moved that shape, right? No worries, let's go ahead and delete that object. That's not going to work, right? Let's go back to our arm control here on the left side. In order to bring this across, we can go ahead and duplicate the object. So we'll go ahead and press Control D. We'll then press Control G to group the object. Now watch this. If we set the scale of our group to negative, so we'll go ahead and set the scale X, the axis that we're trying to mirror across, to -1, now we have a mirrored control. How cool is that? Now, here's the tricky part. At this point, you'd want to ungroup the object. So I'll go ahead and select the object, hit the up arrow to get back to that group. From here, you can go to Edit and choose Ungroup. And now it has been removed from that group and the group has been deleted. Nice. Now what you'd want to do is freeze your transformations. So if we were to select both objects, you could always go to Channel Control under Edit in the channel box. You can bring back your scale channels. Let's go ahead and move them over. We can then go ahead and unlock them so we can highlight our scale channels, right click and choose Unlock Selected. At this point, we can then go to Modify and freeze our transformations. That's one way, or another way is to go back to Modify, Freeze Transformations, and simply uncheck what you do not want to freeze, because if we try to freeze a locked channel, I'll go ahead and right click and lock this down, you'll notice that we're going to get an error letting us know that, hey, these channels are locked, I cannot freeze them. So make sure that you either go to your options and change your settings to what would be more ideal, or just go ahead and bring your channels back. Alright, so once we've managed to freeze these objects, we can then go ahead and remove our scale channels again, lock and hide selected. Fantastic. We can then go in and rename these objects. So that's Anim L Arm 01. Let's go ahead and copy this name. We'll move over to the right side, paste, and get that renamed. Fantastic. So now, all we need to do is go ahead and recolor this object on the right side. So we'll go ahead and find yellow. There it is. And I think we're good to go. I think we're ready to parent our IK handle. So we'll just go ahead and parent to our leg controls. I'll go ahead and do one just so you can see what happens. Now when we start to grab this control, we're able to drive the leg, and we could also rotate to control the twist of the leg as well. And that's it for this lesson. So I'll go ahead and leave the others up to you. Make sure you parent your IK handles to the respective control objects. And in the next lesson, I'm going to go ahead and show you how we will work on controlling the claws.